I just did a seminar about raw food gardens anywhere. It was a free webinar. I'm doing free webinars, a few a week, so go to naturespilgrim.com and you can see the schedule and when I'm doing them. But it was one of the things I talked about was straw bale beds, because straw bale beds to me are one of the best all-around, most versatile permaculture techniques in as far as growing things, because they're so easy. Anybody can do it. You can even do it like on patios, on concrete. You can do it inside if you have enough light. So there's a lot of really great applications as far as microclimating and season extension and urban growing and stuff like that with straw bale beds. You can see these here. These are just little pods of 3 bales. And a straw bale bed is so simple that it sounds like it will never work because it seems too simple. But all you have to do is you get your straw bales. What I did was I let them sit out in the rain for a while and let them start to break down a little bit. And then I set them up and then just put about 3.5 inches of really good organic composted material on top. That's like finished compost, stuff that you can plant into. And then you just basically put your plants, and a lot of these, I think some of these I started because I was doing some experimentation, so some were started in trays, but a lot of them were just direct seed. So a lot of these melons and squash were direct seed. And I just, spaced them and then put a lot of herbs in between that are coming up. And I just sowed them like a week ago, so they're just sprouts. But the other thing is, melons and squash are really heavy feeders. And the great thing about these straw bale beds is when you put the plants in, the soil is really just to hold nutrients and water. The roots actually get rooted into the straw itself. And as that straw breaks down, it feeds the plants, and it also holds water. So you have these sponges that are constantly keeping the plants watered, constantly breaking down, giving them food. So even for heavy feeders spaced relatively close, I mean, in a conventional setting, you wouldn't put your squash or melons in this close of a distance with each other. But with this kind of a breakdown, I'm really pushing the envelope to get as much as I can out of it and just experimenting with the potential of these beds. So it's just a straw bale, let it start to break down, 3.5 inches of soil, and then just plant right in it. You can sow in it, you can plant seedlings in it. You can do it with tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuces, anything that you want. It works really well. You can stack them so that you can trellis things down the side of them. You can get really creative, and they're really versatile. It kind of is going on the Ruth Stout method a lot. Ruth Stout just kind of puts a lot of straw into one open area and would just throw down in the straw. And it's counterintuitive. It seems counterintuitive, but things would just latch on right in the roots, right in the hay or the straw, and just grow. So this is a really easy way that anybody can garden, and it's like I said, it just seems too good to be true, but it's doing really well. I mean, the rate that these things have been growing, they're staying pretty much pest-free. I haven't seen anything wrong with them. I've been keeping a close eye on them. You don't have to water as much because the straw holds a lot of water. So straw bale beds are pretty amazing. And of course they will break down over the course of a season, over a year. So you can't really reuse them next year, but you can reuse all this really great breakdown material and create a lasagna bed out of it or use it in your compost. So it's always going to use. It's basically like they're almost being stored for compost, and in the meantime I'm growing tons of squash and melon out of them. So you can put a bunch of these anywhere. This is just a little bit of a sample of the garden, because we have a lot of these sheet mulch beds, and we have the hugel beds and things like that. So we're really experimenting with all these things to make it basically to show people how you can be sustainable, still be a raw foodist, and be sustainable in any climate. So we're working with as many techniques as we can just to be sort of a living research project and see what will work and how it will work. So that's the basis of the free webinars. So there's raw food webinars about transition. There's webinars about conscious raw foods, spirituality, and things like that. And there's webinars about permaculture and gardening. So go to naturespilgrim.com and see the schedule so that you can sign up for the webinars that look most pertinent to you.